on some plays, I got the freedom to do some other things. So just kind of a little bit of both.
And you weren't playing a lot early last year. You were a freshman and stuff. But what is the sense of this defense right now? 2 games into this new defense and stuff. What do you like about it?
I just like how we play as a unit. I think we're all interconnected. Each play, we all know what we're supposed to be doing. So there's no side conversations on why we're doing this or why we're doing that. We're all just locked in. Flying around making plays.
On those plays where you have maybe the freedom alone and just do what you want to do without giving away all the stuff that you're not going to do. But what are you thinking about when you're picking a guy?
I'm just trying to wreak havoc. You know what I mean? So depending on what the call is, I'm just trying to fly around and disrupt stuff in the backfield. So that's kind of what I do.
Are there certain things you're maybe looking for when you're trying to decide, okay, I'm going to attack this guy?
It definitely depends on the formation and stuff like that, depending on what the call is. And then, making sure I'm lined up where I'm supposed to be and, playing from there. Don't really want to give too much away on that.
Sorry about that. Coach Knowles told me, you talked about the Jack before, you said that was the next step on the way to Leo. Mm-hmm. Is that a path he's given you? And what is the path to being that Leo, which is the next step?
I don't know. He makes it sound like it's going to take a little bit before he names someone a Leo. I'm just trying to get better every day and keep getting better at the stuff I'm doing at the jack spot, and then hopefully down the road we'll see.
It sounded more like it was more the mental stuff or reading on the field. It sounds more like more that he can turn over to you rather than stuff that I on the calls.
I'm not sure about that honestly. Obviously he's done a bunch of stuff at us, and so we still have a bunch of stuff hidden in the playbook that we haven't shown yet. And, just every day we're just trying to improve on that stuff, trying to be sharper and quicker and all that stuff. So,
as a playmaker, getting that, the balance between having to make plays, wanting to make plays, but also doing your assignment. There has to be a balance there.
Oh, yeah, no, there definitely is. You can't make plays if you're not doing your assignment first. Then we'll open up seams and, big runs will happen or, we'll be missing a line. So, you got to make plays in your scheme. You know what I mean? You got to be able to make plays by doing your job and, making sure your job and your gaps locked down first. So definitely it goes hand in hand for sure.
Besides putting shooting,
so much fun. How would you describe why it's so much fun?
Probably just because when I was growing up, up until freshman year of high school, I played middle linebacker my whole life. And so, I've always been pretty good at, flowing, scraping off and making tackles and, kind of just feels a little natural too. And I like standing up, so it's been a lot of fun to get back to that a little bit too.
Where are you in when you were learning that position? I know you were with Coach Jay most of the time. You're still defensive end. But when you're learning jack stuff, who's teaching that to you?
Coach Jay's still teaching us, to keep teaching the jacks because we're still technically a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
We're with him and he's teaching that and based off what Coach Knowles wants to see. And so I'll still work with him every day in that room.
What's been your impression of Cade in the last couple of weeks? I mean, obviously got to play some last week. A lot of people were fired up about the way he played.
I was happy to see him make some plays too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Get to get in there, and I think maybe it might have even been one of his first plays in there. He got a tackle for a loss. So, Cade's a really hard worker. I think Cade's got a bright future, and we all just are excited about the young guys being able to get in there and make some plays.
How much do you and him? How much do y'all talk? I mean, or do you?
Yeah, no, we got a really close D-line unit this year. I think we've all grown together a lot, and spending more time with each other outside the woody and stuff like that. So me and Caden, we're all really good friends off the field, and Caden's a great kid.
Yeah.
Caden's got a great work ethic. He takes care of his grades in the classroom. So we're all excited about the young guys.
You were pretty jacked, pardon the expression. You're pretty jacked about this defense in the winter and through the spring and whatever. Now that y'all played 2 games, is it living up to your expectations of what you expected to see out there?
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think we what is it? We haven't given up a touchdown like 6 quarters or something like that. It kind of just speaks for itself. We're shutting down teams, and we gave up some big plays here and there, but that's going to happen. Playing the other Division I teams. So it's just been fun. It's fun locking people back down, letting the offense do what they do.
Hey, Jack, you
mentioned you're a 2-year-old veteran now. I mean, you're talking about the young guys.
Yeah, it definitely feels like, I've been here for a while, and I kind of feels, it feels like I've been here for a while. I feel more comfortable doing stuff, and, hey, Talik, how you doing, man? You gonna get a sack before me this year? But, it's, being here, being my second year here and, going through a whole, full off season again, you just feel way more comfortable being out there on the field and, kind of just let loose a little bit more too.
Jack, is there,
Last question right back in the spring, you were joking with Mike.
I was waiting on someone to bring this up.
And now he's leading the team in sacks.
Yeah, which is no surprise. I mean, Mike's he's a freaky athlete. And, he works so hard this off season, and we're finally get to see what all his work he's been doing, translate to the field. So, I'm the first person to say I'm so happy to see him, succeed in the way he is.
And his last thing about when you were developing that position in the spring, what was maybe the most difficult thing to kind of pick up?
I think that's hard to say, because we were trying to learn that, and the rest of the base defense as well. So I just say, I think just trying to figure out it all, at the same time, kind of with the base and with that as well. Kind of going hand in hand a little bit and learning responsibilities on certain plays here and there. And I'd say that's probably the hardest thing.
All right, thank you, Jack.
Appreciate you guys.
Jack.
Sure.
Have a good one.
We'll bring in Emeka.
Emeka, we asked Dan Stroud a lot of questions about that 51-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Can you just take me through selling that route, which clearly looks like it's supposed to be a drag route,
Yeah.
and you just hop up the field.
Yeah.
Just take me through working that route and developing, learning how to run that route.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how that play is designed. You know what I'm saying? You want to give the illusion of the drag, and then once you get dropped by the corner, the middle should be yours. So really the technique of running that route is just, having body presence to the drag, and what comes with that is turning your shoulders, facing the sideline so that the corner is able to cut you, and then by the time you put your foot in the ground, you can take the middle.
They were talking about how you maybe had to work it a little bit more because there was a little bit of traffic you had to
Right.
get through. That's like when you're working through that time,
Yeah.
what's the patience that comes with that, making sure you don't, the timing is
Yeah, the main thing with those type of routes is just getting through clean. With double moves like that, if you get held up at all, it's not really going to be there. So just navigating, being good, and using your hands so that no one can hold you up. Because a lot of the time there's going to be a linebacker there waiting for you, walling you, not letting you get across to the other side of the field. But once you clear him, there's really nobody else there. So we've definitely worked out a lot with hand combat and just playing strong and running physical and stuff like that.
Emeka, I'm trying to say this the right way.
Probably won't.
Does it add value for you and Marvin that you got some reps when Jackson's not out there, not commanding coverage or anything like that? You had to be the guys to lead the room and then delivered in that sag. Whatever the opponent is, just that you got some reps like that in the last 2 games. Is there value in your mind?
I would say there's a little value there, just knowing that Jackson's down and knowing that, we have one less body in the receiver room, so that, you really have to execute your plays top notch. Not that you don't have to do that all the time, but, there's definitely more sense of, importance on every play, I would say. But, at the end of the day, we've executed plays like the past 2 weeks, 24/7, every time we step on the field, whether Jackson's in or not. We're just, focus on being great receivers for our quarterback.
What do you think that could mean for you guys now once you do get Jackson?
It means a lot, being able to play fast like we have played the last 2 weeks. Even with Jackson back, it's just that much more of a threat to the defenses.
Does your role change at all with those two guys back, or are you still doing the same thing as when they're?
It's not really a question for me to answer, I'd say. I feel like my role on this team is whatever the coaches decide it to be, and I'm going to fulfill it to the best of my ability and just hopefully contribute to us winning a lot of games this year.
These guys already asked you about that touchdown Saturday?
Which one?
The one where you cut up the middle?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. Can I ask you one more time?
Yeah.
Mainly, you're concerned there, you're running like a drag.
Yeah.
But do you have the option to turn it up or keep the drag? I mean, what was sort of the thing there, and what told you? Because could you even sense CJ waiting for you to make your move?
Right. That's really how the play is designed, because we have plays where I do run drags. That one's just an illusion of a drag where I take the middle. So I know I'm the main read on that, and I have a little bit of time, but you don't want to be too patient. But once I knew I had the middle, I knew CJ was going to look my way.
Yeah, you look like you were a guy almost crossing the street with cars going by. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
What I don't know, not guts is not the right word, but what does it take to kind of run that route and sell it? You know what I mean? Before you pop.
Just playing physical, playing strong, knowing you're going to have to go in the box with linebackers, hand combat, and just making sure you're free by the time you turn up the field.
Yeah, and to have a veteran quarterback like CJ who was patient enough to let that develop, I mean, Would that just give you more insight into what he's about?
Yeah, that just speaks a lot to his game. He knows what the coverage is, and he knows it's going to be open, even if it was a little muddy through the first, 2 seconds of the play. So just seeing how he allowed it to develop is just really speaks on his maturity level as a quarterback.
I'm starting to see JSN coaches saying they should be back in the mix. What do they look like to you?
They're both working their hardest, doing a lot of recovery to get back as soon as they can. If they are able to get back, that would be great. We're happy to have them. If they're not able to, we're just focused on getting them healthy and make sure that we're going to have them the rest of the season.
Emeka, what's going through your mind after the punt return gets called back?
You can't be too mad. At the end of the day, we're in this as a team, so I don't hold anything against whoever had penalties on that. It's unfortunate that we weren't able to get the ball back. That's our main focus on the unit. We had that happen twice that game, so we're definitely looking to clean that up. But if I'm able to hit another home run, I'd be happy to. And I'm just glad for the blocks I had on that play.
Did you know that it was going to be a penalty? Like, did you already see it happening?
Yeah.
As you're running, you're like, this is going to get called back.
I'm not gonna lie, I did see the flag early, like right as I caught it. I knew the flag was down, but why not put it on film? And if the other team has a penalty that cancels it out, that would be great. So I just decided to take it out, and then it ended up being a touchdown.
You came in as the #1 wide receiver in the country as far as recruiting rankings. What pressure did you feel coming in here? And just talk about living up to that. It feels like you've lived up to that and then some already.
I feel like the transition from high school to college, especially with me coming in what my ranking was, I felt a lot of expectation and I would say a little bit of pressure just from family and stuff back home. But once you get to college, rankings don't matter at all. You're here to put it in every day, grind and work on your game. It's like as if you're just a new freshman again, as if you were coming in high school. So I didn't really think too much about my rankings. I was just focused on grinding, getting better, and doing as much as I could for my team.
I know you want to put full effort in every route, so I'm not saying that's not what you're doing, but is there any extra level of urgency when you are the first read in the route?
I wouldn't say so, because coverages can change and coverages can switch. So speed off the ball is always the main thing. If you're running good routes and you're running speed off the ball, even if you get tired, we have a great coaching staff that's going to get the rotation in right. Maybe call a run play or two so you can get your lungs back, and then be able to execute on every pass that's called.
Is the speed off the line of scrimmage more important when you read one versus read 2 or 3, where maybe there's a little bit more patience to go?
Yeah, sometimes there is patience. There's definitely routes where you're the last read. You have a little more time to mess around, not mess around, but get yourself into a better position to execute post snap. Whether that's giving more moves to the DB or tempo in your route on the snap. So there's definitely stuff like that, but in most concepts, it's speed down the field.
How difficult have these couple of weeks been for you? Because you came in thinking you would have one role, then Jackson goes down and you have to move in there. And now you have a good week last week, and now it looks like maybe your role will be changing, not necessarily changing, but you'll be playing different positions some more this week. How difficult has that been, and what has allowed you to adjust and flow?
I wouldn't say it's been difficult. It's definitely been a little more taxing on the body. But we have a great recovery staff, training staff. They've been getting me right every single day after games and stuff like that to get my legs back. So I wouldn't say it's been more difficult. I've had a lot of fun these last 2 weeks, and I'm going to continue to have fun if we keep winning games.
You guys all play every position, but what's the toughest part about mid-game switching up, going from Z to H?
Right. Mid-game, I would say, since I feel comfortable with my responsibility on the play is knowing what I'm doing. Switching isn't that hard for me, but the main part about it is when you go to H from Z, outside to inside or inside to outside, you haven't seen how the DBs are playing, as from opposed to the corners to the safeties. So not knowing that right away is something that's more difficult. You got to learn to recognize what they're doing quicker so you're able to execute better.
How have you felt, or what's the adjustment been like returning punts as well?
One more time.
What's been the adjustment like for you, kind of returning punts for the first time?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say it was an adjustment. I've gotten those reps a lot of times in practice. Even last year when Garrett was the main punt returner and then Jackson went in. I caught my first punt in Indiana, I think, I didn't return it, but I caught it. So getting those game reps is definitely big, but I get game reps in practice all the time, so I was able to, do it and move into it feeling comfortable.
Are there things like during that one that was called back? Are there things you feel like you've done as a punt return that you want to work on?
Yeah, definitely working on being more aggressive to the ball. The very first punt of the game, our first drive, the ball hit the ground, rolled all the way back to the 4-yard line. I was just like, it took a bad bounce, but at the end of the day, you got to be aggressive towards the ball and catch it. So definitely working on, catching the ball at full speed because that's going to be the situation at sometimes. So securing the kick.
Is it hard to be aggressive with the ball, or is it something that you think comes in time?
Sometimes it's a little scarier because, the faster you're moving, the harder it's going to be, especially when the ball's wiggling in the air. It's just something that comes with reps and just working on it.
Was the move away from kick returner just to decrease your load for the game?
We got a great guy back there. Chip training might even be better than me, so he hasn't gotten a chance to return any yet, but you guys are going to see Saturday. Chip's he's a very special talent, one of the most, if not the most athletic guy on the team. I'm excited to see him return some stuff.
Have you ever seen a linebacker return a kick?
I haven't, but this should be. I wouldn't be surprised if he took the first one he's ever gotten back. He's one of the fastest guys on the team, being 230 pounds. He can do backflips like it's nothing. He's one of the strongest guys in the weight room. It's going to be, if me personally on the kickoff team, I would not want to tackle him.
What's it been like to watch him return in practice?
Seeing him return in practice, it's like you don't really realize how fast he is until he hits that crease. And once he hits that crease, no one on the scout kickoff team has been able to catch him. So, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he took it back.
Most athletic guy on the team.
Well, yeah, he's up there.
Without having Jackson, obviously, and Julian and Cam, you guys are very short-handed. Did you and Marvin ever have a conversation, or did you need to, about, hey, we got to beat the guys at least starting the season?
That's something me and Marvin have talked about, coming in, the first day living together freshman year. We've always dreamed about playing at a high level together and kind of being like, I think we can be better than them, but kind of be like what Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson were at LSU. So, but, when we knew Jax and Julian were down, we kind of had a little conversation, but, we both know we were built for this. We're here for a reason, and I was just excited to play with him.
And how would you assess how you've done the first two games?
I'd say we definitely left a couple things on the field. Obviously, the stats suggest that we do pretty good, but we have very high expectations for ourselves. So we're looking to go out there every week and just dominate our opponent and, get everything that we can out of the game.
You and Marvin came in thinking that you wanted to be Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
Does that make you Jamar Chase?
Yeah, that's what who was
I'm Emeka and Marvin's Marvin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see what our future holds, especially for Marvin. He's a special talent.
On that note, thanks.
Hey, thanks,
Thanks,
Emeka.
guys.
Appreciate it.
He's on kick returns to start. Yeah, I was trying to. Pretty sure he's still. Because when they score,
Tranum was back there last game. He was eventually up.
yeah, he definitely was.
That's something Marvin and I talked about.
Was Bill's question about Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave?
No, Bill asked about.
Who did he say they could be better than?
He was talking about the LSU Chase.
That's what he. But
Bill just asked about them talking about being you guys.
I wasn't sure if he was talking about.
He said when Jackson got hurt, they have a conversation about him to step up, and he said we talked about our freshman year being ready to go.
I guess that's all flowing in one conversation. I think we can be better than them, but kind of be like what Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson were.
He brought up those two.
I wasn't sure if somebody else said. We're streaming live, so be careful what you say. That's right.
can't be done better. Really what you guys are doing.
He did say, I think we can be better than so you were just talking to him. He did say Jamar Chase. He did say so I can prove that. Million impressions on Twitter. Like almost 10,000 likes, like 370,000 on the side. Well, it was like a video of him walking past. It was literally just like that's an autographed Ted Ginn jersey on Jason Tatum. That was it. It was probably the most liked tweet, most seen tweet I've ever had, and it had nothing to do with the game at all.
I think my most interactive tweet was 2015 Media Days. Urban made a comment about that they could use Braxton, JT, and Cardale all on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
People lost their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Like throughout the season, I still had people like commenting on it.
Right. Yeah, I feel like they're recall that.
Never really got out of everybody. We got to break back out of the right leadership train. So he hasn't gotten a chance to return anything. You know, he lives inside of that just awesome. Very special talent. One of the most, if not the best athlete of the team. Keep my eye out. I haven't. This should be. I would have been surprised if the first one was ever got banged. He's one of the fastest guys on the team, being 250 pounds. Backflips like it's nothing. One of the strongest guys in there. He's going to be, me personally, on the kickoff team, I don't know what it's like.
I've already talked to him about his hair, and I've talked to him about soccer, so yeah. He probably still hasn't been to a crew game this year.
At the end of the day, whether it's hard or it's hard, I think last year or the year before, we played a little bit. Let's talk about and they don't matter. Whenever I go, wherever part of the game, wherever time, let's do the best we can make it. He hasn't gotten a chance to
seeing them return in practice, it's like you don't really realize how fast it is until you see it. Was it exactly just like going off the snap kick opportunity and being able to catch it? So, like I said, I want to be surprised.
We are still waiting on a couple of players. If you guys are still on the stream here, perhaps Luke Whippler, maybe Noah Ruggles, and maybe a surprise or two if they bring those surprises out. We will see.
Just me and Marvin have talked about, coming in, the first day looking together freshman year. We've always dreamed about playing at a high level together, kind of being like, I think we kind of be like what Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson was at LSU. So, but, when we knew Jackson Julian were down, we kind of had a little conversation, but, we both know we're going through this. We're here for a reason. Obviously, it's not I'd say we definitely left a couple of things on the field. Obviously, the stats suggest that we can be good, but we have very high expectations for ourselves. So we're looking to go out there and dominate our opponent, get everything that we can out of the game. I'm a big Marvin's mom, so I'm excited to see what our future holds, especially for Marvin.
All right, everybody. Actually, that is it. Thanks for hanging around. Sorry we got a couple of no-shows, but we have been told no more players today, so we'll catch you guys later.